Hi Geminis, welcome to your 2024 yearly reading. I'm super excited to tune in for you guys. I'm going to go with the flow. I definitely have written a couple of things down for you guys. Some astrology, some major points we need to look at. But if you really are interested in an in-depth reading when it comes to like your astrology for your rising sign for this next year, there are amazing astrologists out there that really go and dive deep, and it's very intriguing and very interesting and very helpful. So that all combined, you can get like, the bigger picture and more refined details for this new year for you guys. But I will mention a couple of them because it's just the energy I'm really picking up on. And when I feel guided, I do use the astrology. I love astrology. I really spend a lot of time researching, doing things, and learning. Because that's the thing with astrology. It's like you can learn your entire life and still don't even know 70% of it all. Like there's so much, so many layers, so many different angles. But that's the thing. I feel for you guys when it comes to 2024, it is about going into the deep. It's about doing deeper research. It's about the higher knowledge. It's about really looking at everything that you've went through and that you grow out of, and that you healed and overcome, and what type of lessons you learned, not only in 2023 but just overall. Like, we have major shifts and changes happening. Like, Pluto is officially moving into Aquarius in this next year, and that hasn't happened in a very, very long time, and it will move into Aquarius and stay there for 19 years. So that is like not like an instant shift. You might have felt it already, in the beginning of this year to 23, but there's just, it will gradually continue. Like, it's a continuous energy that will influence you, in a way of growing, of transforming, of releasing, of seeing certain truths, feeling different about circumstances in your life. You will naturally feel guided to move out or move into things. When it comes to that, for you guys, if you are Gemini rising, all of that is happening in your ninth house. And that's so, the ninth house is represented by Sagittarius in the zodiac sign, and that's your opposite. So there's a lot of natural qualities that get enhanced in like a good way, because I feel some of the things that, or sides of you guys that maybe have kept other sides of you thriving, or from thriving and from developing, and that is, now making space for those things to come forward, for you to connect some serious dots. Like, all of those things, I'm like, it's a lot. Like, if I will really, not be conscious with your reading, I could literally go on for 3.5 hours, I swear. Your energy is super intriguing, but it is also really taking me, like, the Neptune energy, like deep diving, looking at all sides of like higher truths and angles, and the guidance that comes through with that, the downloads. It's like deep waters, and not deep waters where we're drowning. No, the deep waters where we re rebirth ourselves, like where we get reborn, refresh, renew, um bathe bathe in, is what I'm hearing. I'm bathing in that side of yourself that is coming forward. And I'm not saying that it can't be a practical energy of things, of like building practical things, driving. I feel that is really all about the balance. It's all about staying flexible and creating space for both. And when you find the balance, and as a Gemini, you guys do have really that strong duality within you, which kind of makes you feel, when not one side is fully and wholly, but it's like both sides that come together and allow each other to coexist and co-thrive. That's what I'm hearing. That's actually something that fits you guys, brings you more in balance than actually doing one thing at a time. Something practical that I'm feeling when it, maybe, I don't know if it's perceived as practical, but it is something in a 3D for a lot of you guys, you might have felt a guidance or felt a pull towards writing a book. This could be any type of book. This could be a fantasy book or a spiritual book, or in whatever way, shape, or form. It's just a book that you know is in you, right? A lot of times we just feel the guidance, the pull, but the whole process is part of writing the book. Actually typing the words and, getting it out there, getting it published is just, is one part of it. It's not the entire process. It's about acknowledging that feeling within you, allowing that to take space, really getting into a part within yourself where you feel like you can actually get it out there, because it's a lot of times it comes from a subconscious place. But for you guys, I feel like disconnecting dots will also motivate you to actually pick up either that pen or type things out. And even if it's not necessarily the year for you to where you will actually publish the book, it could be. I'm just saying that if you feel like, no, there's more, I just don't want to sign it off yet. I think like I need a little bit more time, I need a little more space. Like, give yourself that, because like I said, it will still unravel. It's like layers of an onion, basically. You can do it rushed, but you can also really allow yourself to work with that and write. For example, writing that book is also very spiritually, it's an experience. It takes you places, it heals you in some way, shape, or form. And that's the thing, that's what I'm feeling. It could be like, for a lot of you guys, that is something that connects to that. It doesn't always have to be writing a book. It could also, for some of you, it's just starting like a bullet journal, and like on a serious level, like really taking time and energy to like create that space for yourself. Maybe some of you are really big on like meditating, and you transform that type of meditation into something else, like into a practical practice. Like I, for example, said, like maybe it's baking, maybe it's something that you put your focus on, and allow yourself to be there, be in the moment, and allow another side of you to come out. Finding the balance in this year in that way, allowing both, like your practical side, your practical twin, your like go-getter twin, connected to like this romantic Piscean energy of like love and nurturing and beautiful words and beautiful colors and nature and all of that other side of you, to co partnerships, what I'm hearing. So that is something that I'm channeling for you guys. And it is also that came with another message. It says, did you forget all you had to go through to be you, to become you, the you who you are? A lot of times we end up taking ourselves for granted, because it is, once again, gradually, right? Through life, we learn, we grow, we thrive, but it's years on years on years, and sometimes we can't even tune into a 16-year-old self anymore. But we've kept on taking one step at a time. We kept on going and thriving through breakthroughs and overcame obstacles, and all of that has made the you that you are right now. And it doesn't mean that we look in the mirror and we always are like the happiest, whether it's a physical appearance or it's a spiritual appearance that is reflected back to us, but it's in process. And the process by itself takes courage. But the fact that you still are here listening to this took courage. At some point or multiple points in your life, you had to be brave, you have to have courage, you have to show up for yourself in order to be here today. So that by itself is a significant sign of your inner strength, and also of your wisdom, because you also had to be smart, you also had to use your wisdom, you also had to trust your gut, trust your inner compass. And all of that combined made you here today. Where you're going is also important, but where you are is just as equally important, and especially where you came from. So finding the balance between that, like I said, connecting the dots, and to the deep hidden truths. It's all about unraveling the truths. You just don't want to have like, you don't want to feel like you're just following the crowd. That's really un-Gemini like, but sometimes it is a coping mechanism or survival instinct. Just go with the flow, go with the crowd. But you really do want to, instead of connecting to your surrounding, you want to connect to your internal surrounding. You want things to reflect back to you what you're feeling inside, instead of trying to let the outside reflect on the inside. So there's a difference there. It is a lot about looking in the spiritual mirror for you, and it has nothing to do with other people. It has nothing to do with you needing to prove your worth or your growth to the world. It's all about you and the journey with that. And if you create space, whether you have like a very hectic life with 6 kids and a partner and all of that, still it asks you to create that space, for all of this, to have some space, because it's gonna make you significantly feel like you're gonna feel a lot lighter about you and about your life and about your responsibilities, and it's gonna bring some joy back that you guys have a very strong inner child. I don't know a lot of Geminis. I mean, they are out there depending on the rest of your chart, but I do not know a lot of Geminis or Gemini moons especially that aren't like a big like Disney fan or characters. I know there's a lot of other energy surrounding around Disney, but it's about also that inner child connecting and that feeling of freedom. So a lot of times it's Geminis. Now if you are not, that's totally okay. I get it. We're all unique in our own ways. It's just something upon my journey that I've noticed a lot. And like that, especially Gemini moons. Anyways, I'm going to continue with the cards. I'm going to take a sip of tea, but I'm going to edit that out for you guys, okay? All right, Gemini, let's jump into this oracle deck. I love this magical spirit oracle deck. It's amazing. Really big fan of this artist. Not sponsored, just appreciation. She really does a lot of light work through her art. All right. Very strong Piscean energy as well. That's also why I wanted to use this deck for your reading. Oh, look at these 2 cards. Where are they leading us to? Once again, it all comes in 2s. It says the Seeker. Beautiful. That's one side of you this year. The Seeker. Oh, how beautiful is this art? The Seeker. It says all-seeing eye, spirit, and release. Could you surrender just a bit more? Could you surrender just a bit more? And it came with number 3. It says, you are worthy of beautiful things. You are worthy of beautiful things. It says a servant queen. Divine, magnetic, and valuable. Wow, if that is not a Gemini. The magnet of you guys. The divine magnet energy that you guys have over everything, surrounding you. You attract. You guys are big attractors, like a magnet attracting things in. But it's also finding that really balanced space within yourself to activate that, that magnet for the things that are going to reflect the beauty inside of you back to you. So you are worthy of beautiful things. So don't put too much pressure on yourself. That's what I'm feeling very strongly. Trying to be something that you feel you should be. Not what others tell you to be, but what you feel you should be, where you are. How you think you should think about it. How you think you should by now feel about something. It's like that pressure cooker. It's like, could you just release it a little bit more? Could you just ease into your beautiful nature, your beautiful mind, your beautiful heart, your caring soul, your wisdom, you know, that deep knowledge that lays within you. Could you surrender to that a little bit more? Even if it's not reflecting back to you on the outside, could you lean into that internal world just a little bit more? I'm not asking you to live there and to only, you know, once again, it comes in both ways. It comes in two. So there's a balance of the outside and the in the world. But when you find that balance and that peace, you could have an easier time with the outside world if you lean in a little bit more on the inner world. So meditation, like I said, comes in many forms, but it is important you find your own form, whether it's journaling or, like I said, writing, creating. Even for some of us, I mean, for me, I'm a Cancer rising, but you guys are my 12th house. So a lot of times I like to, you know, like I really love doing the dishes. I know it sounds weird, but I love like the running water and like cleaning things, and that by itself is an act. I also completely locked out. Same thing with cooking. I love cooking, but cooking is a meditative state for me. When I do my like the cooking that I do, especially for other people, they know they can enter the kitchen. I mean, maybe like one or two times tops, because it's my meditative state. At that moment, I am completely connected to that, and it's coming out of a place within me, and it always tastes better. That's the thing. That's the same thing with you. It's like whether you have conversations, whether you are coming out of um you know, you communicate, like I said, you're communicating with other people, or you create something, or you write something. It's like, be in the moment, be conscious about that thing that you're doing, and any outside source can be there, but it should stay at a certain distance from that space that you create, right? So you can combine that. For example, like I said, if you have kids and they have a, you know, a certain rush hour, you know, where they're like super hyped, maybe right before they go to bed because they're tired, and some kids get very hyperactive when they're tired. And so that probably isn't the right moment to then for yourself create that space. Like, now I'm trying to like do this for me, and you guys are like up the wall, maybe, you know. It's like, but in an hour they will be in bed asleep, hopefully, praise the Lord. You know, hopefully. And that will be a good space where, yes, they're in the house, but they're in, you know, they're good, they're taken care of, and now you have that space for yourself. So that is a, you know, finding the right balance in that. um there's no shame in like getting a babysitter, not because you have to go to like a work dinner or, you know, whatever way, shape, form. Also, sometimes you just need an afternoon where you can just get a really some good sleep. It's, you know, if you had that time. But because kids, and they can like go out and play with some friends, for example, they have a great time, they have a blast, they have social time, which is super important. They have time out of the house, and that is also super important for kids to develop. And you have an afternoon off. Yes, you can fill it up with 120 things that you feel like I should be doing and I should get done, and that's true. But if we had the kids, you wouldn't even get all of that done either. And so if you need, like I said, a good siesta, because it will recharge your energy, because at that moment you go into like your deeper emotions, your deeper states in this year, like it benefits everything all around. And when you show yourself that grace, when you show yourself that care and that nurturing, trust me, the universe will show up with some great solutions and some other people and some other options to get all of those things done that you felt you should get done before you can take that nap. You know, I'm not saying, you know, I know it sounds like, oh, what is a nap? It's like, no, but it has more meaning to it, because it's what we allow ourselves to be taken away from us, you know, out of the name of responsibility, and again, the outside world coming in. So, like I said, I could be literally doing your reading for 3.5 hours, because there's just so much that's coming like true and ways of looking at it, and things I'm really going to, for the next like, I don't know, 15 minutes, I think I'm really going to try my best to just get out of that energy a little bit in the here and the now, and just continue to channel. All right, let's pick up the deck. Let's pick up a tarot deck. I'm gonna use this one. It's also a great time of year to like do some reflection, not only over this last year, but especially since like the year of 2008 till now, in certain areas of your life, in how you work together with other people, how you felt about that, and the instability maybe there as well, and the passion projects and the things that have passed by. Like, reflect back for yourself. This Pluto in your 8th house energy definitely is something to look into. Also, so you can like close out that chapter and enter that energy of your 9th house energy. You have the Two of Swords. And if you are not a Gemini rising, I mean, the energy is still active, obviously, but maybe you have like a Libra rising, then tune in for that. Like, where was Pluto transiting through from 2008 to, basically now. Two of Swords. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay, I'm gonna get a couple more cards out, see where they want me to take that. Beautiful. You guys, that energy. I really do feel 2024 is not just any other year. And I know we say that every year. But it's true. We have this conjunction happening as well. In April, it is a longer conjunction. It's from 2015, girl. 2015 is like also a major point year. It's good to reflect upon that year as well. I know that for me personally, during Gemini season, I a really bad car accident in 2015. I completely pivoted my entire life. So that by itself was a big year energetically as well. But this conjunction happening from 15th of April till around about the 24th of April, between Jupiter and Uranus in the sign of Taurus. So once again, a lot of 12th house energy coming true for you guys, if you are Gemini rising. So that by itself once again enhances that energy, but it's quick shifts and quick changes. And so you go from this Two of Swords into the Six of Swords. It's like you come out of it. It's like you wake up. It's like literally like that. It could be like that. It doesn't have to be, but it's like moments of like complete clarity. It's like, I'm done. I can't do this anymore. It just doesn't feel right anymore. I don't know where I was. I don't know what I have been sleeping on, but I'm awake now and I'm going to make some changes here and I'm going to do different there. Or like, it's the complete opposite. It's like, whoa, why have I been looking at it from this angle? Like, I should try to do it like this and that, and probably makes everybody feel better. It's like having those moments of clarity on how to get from the rougher waters of not completely seeing clearly, because that's the thing. It's like that dual energy keeps you stagnant because there was no real right answer, or real right option or way of like, I know what this is, I know what this feels like, but I have no idea how to take it from there to like, now we're healing. Now we're letting it go. It's like we can look at it, we see the truth, but how do we take it from that point to now we are releasing that from our energy? So that is something that I'm seeing. It's about how do we move forward. It's a lot of water, so it's once again that deep waters, deep running energy, deep truths, deep knowledge coming up to the surface, and it's helpful. It's not always a thing. It's like, oh, it's instantly fixed. It's like, now we don't need to worry anymore. No, there will be angles to it, there will be time needed, but at least you have like a clearer direction or where to go. And where you're moving towards is the 9 of Pentacles. This is one of those years that not only are you already very emotionally independent, you're going to look at yourself as that. You're going to feel less, I don't want to say needy, but needing of a certain level of reassurance, a certain level of, especially with Gemini moons, it's, you guys, you have the amazing ability to really, like, on a deep level, have an understanding of your own emotional world and all of that, and insights and stuff, and how it makes you feel and why it makes you feel like that. And often it lives on and on and on and on in a loop in your mind. It goes on, and you have the ability to really also keep it there. But a lot of times getting it out, sharing it with others, even if they don't necessarily have the answers, it's just a listening ear that while you speak, while you express yourself, you're getting also other insights by saying those things. Sometimes it makes you more upset because you're unraveling a lot of emotion in those conversations, especially if you haven't had one in a long time, and it has been building up. But I feel like you're becoming better at being that listening ear to yourself, to serve yourself better. For me, you don't need to, like, I'm not saying this is better than the other. I'm just saying you're gonna look at it like, I'm doing better at that. This is working for me. This is helping me out. This is making me more trusting of myself and my own abilities, and that spreads out into your money because you're leaning on yourself in a new way. And that leaving your life suddenly, even if you saw it and felt it coming, it still was quite abrupt, actually gave you the ability to find that place and that center space within yourself. And like I said, it goes also, it just makes you feel overall more abundant, because you're also less prone to allow other people, to tell you that in order to be the King of Cups, in order to be completely, fully, wholly happy and successful and thriving and, emotionally intelligent and capable, like, you need my thing. When you already have 9 Pentacles by yourself, so you look at this differently. But you're also, that's what I'm saying, you also understand that you don't have to completely self-sacrifice in order to be successful or in order to thrive. And so you're learning this year how to delegate things differently, like I spoke about earlier on, right? With really needing that siesta. And I know that it seems like a small thing, but it could actually have a ripple effect on multiple angles. And you see, like, little things here and there can also already be more than enough and also have great significance. And that's the same thing with, like, you developing and building things and being able to have harvest from those things, right? Have a fruitful garden from the work, one thing at a time, a little bit here, a little bit there. It's about the consistency. It's not about the grand gestures, Yes, we do need, sometimes we need, for example, this, to let this garden thrive, we might really need 2 days of, like, 8 hours of work almost, like, in the garden. You get the soil ready, and you have to plant the plants in, and you have to, like, put them in the right place, and the soil, and maybe you need to go buy some soil or some other stuff for the garden, some fertilizer and some this and some that, and you have to build a stick thing so the tomato plants can grow up on in a certain way. You have to think about it, and you maybe even draw something out, like what is it gonna look like, all of those things, right? That might take some bigger chunk of your energy and time, but it will be, then from there on, the most important thing is keeping consistency around it. Just every day, a little bit water, just a little check-in if something needs to come off and some leaves have, stopped fertilizing the plant and they need to come off. Just do a little bit picking here, just a little bit watering there, a little bit of a check-in here and there, and that's the consistency. That's what I'm feeling this year is about. So that's what I'm feeling. Your what also is changing is what I'm feeling is that certain things come easier, like romantic gestures and things, all about fun, play, having fun. It doesn't have to be over the top and everything you have and invest it all and give it all. It's it's the little things. It's all in the little things, the little smiles, the little roses and offers and gestures and the good morning hugs and it's the little things that keep things in a consistent base and thriving. And it's like the King of Cups, the King of Cups. So it's like a lot of like people around you, where you're attracting people around you that have a lot of emotional awareness. So they're aware of their own emotion, where it comes from, how they can in a independent way balance that out within themselves. But with that also become a lot of aware of your internal world, right? It's when you check out, they just allow you to. They don't feel the need to like completely consume you with every second of their being. It's like it's about the balance. And maybe for you as well, maybe you change that around as well. Maybe you've been really strongly like maybe in previous relationship, like it was just a little bit too much, being in each other's energy all the time, thinking about each other all the time, being in connection and communication all the time, and then it kind of the fire just starts burning out because it's like a little bit of too much all the time, and other areas of your life start to really like miss that consistency, even if it's just a little bit. So delegating that in a better way, you will emotionally feel also that is what you were guided to do. That just feels better, that just feels right. So it's a lot of the world within you and the world around you. So you will have your moments this year. 7 of Swords, 5 of Wands. Together with the 6 of Cups. 6 of Cups and the Knight of Swords. So my stomach is also like growling, so I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's like the sound of thunder. So that's a little bit what I'm feeling here and there. Like there is some possibility of having some conflicting energy with other people, and mostly I feel you don't have a hard time with accepting these changes and this growth and these pivot moments, because it just also it's really based on like I know it's like not easy, but I kind of feels good or something, or exciting to look at beyond this situation and all of that, or change this routine, or change this, or start actually doing some I don't know, some new things, try out some new things. I just feel like there's a lot the sound coming from the outside source that is I don't feel like it necessarily can really touch you that much anyway, because can't really tell Gemini what to do anyway. But I feel like they have a hard time, not everyone, I'm just saying a couple of people have a hard time adjusting to this new you, and so they kind of want to and that's a lot of times when we change or we shift and we grow, people like to out of I think a place of familiarity or comfortability, to keep looking at you through the old lens. When if you have Geminis around you should kind of know that they're ever evolving and ever changing, and that's kind of the whole it's the package deal. But they feel uncomfortable with something, but they're not expressing themselves, so you will yeah, because it's a little bit both ways, because I feel like some of them just all of a sudden just have certain below the belt comments, and but then also offering it with a cup. So that's interesting. Maybe that's what happens when the universe is kind of guiding you to that phase within, where, you know, it starts to, in order for us to want to try something different, to want to create a new comfort zone of some, out of something that feels like unknown and uncomfortable because it's unknown. Sometimes the thing that makes us feel comfortable and that we are familiar with first starts to feel very unpleasant or uncomfortable, and that sometimes pushes us to change things, because like, okay, I didn't go to this unknown place, I didn't go to this place where I'm like, you know, uncomfortable, because I'm like, you know, I have to adjust and stuff, because this, where I'm at, like, kind of feels comfortable, like it's familiar, and then that familiarity kind of disappears because it's becoming very unstable. And I mean, I always think like everything can become a comfort zone, no matter how toxic. There we go. Who's that toxicity? But once you open up the box, look at all the things that come out. So once again, it is all about getting unstuck and looking at things from a different way. The Emperor. The Knight of Pentacles with the Judgment. So by itself, I feel the outside world is evolving and changing with you. So you can only be a strong leader if you trust yourself. If you trust your own leadership, you can be a good leader because you're leading by example. You trust the path you guide others to walk on. That's your path. That's the path that you walk on. You know it's solid because out of experience. That's how you going to put in a leadership position. Whether you like really aspire that or not, it's just you leading by example. And you also understand that you're not all about just making yourself feel good all the time. It's about things need to sort of make sense in a certain way. It also needs to be fair and also needs to be just, and because otherwise it wouldn't really feel right. So there is about this balance, and with that, you know that you do things that are good for you, even if they make you feel uncomfortable, or even though it means that you might have to give up something. Looking at the bigger picture, what you're doing it for, and that is something that I feel like that's bringing about a lot of spiritual acknowledgement as well. Like your guides are really acknowledging this shift within you. Look, Page of Cups. That's the thing. Like I said, there's more than enough playtime, just as much as there is of putting in the work. More than enough playtime. Comfortable with that. It's like, it's almost like you and the universe got this secret like love language going on. It's like other people may not get it, but it's a joke between you and me. Like, you know, universe, it's like, it's funny to me. You know, like that. Queen of Pentacles is here as well. I love the fact that the Queen of Pentacles shows up, because there's a lot of Queen energy in 2024. It's a number 8 year, so it's also death and rebirth and transformation. You know, the feminine gives birth to life, I'm feeling. So love that energy, because I told you you already have 9 pentacles, and this pentacle is just adding to the plate and it creates a 10. But this is about the long lasting journey of it. This is something that reaps rewards over and over and over. This adjustment. That's the word. Okay, Mercury. So what is the Ten of Pentacles trying to show Gemini? It's like you can fully grasp this energy. Wow, with the Sun. Okay. The Sun with the 8 of Cups and the 4 of Swords. It's like you are healing and you're letting and you're shedding and you're letting it go, you know, and you're looking at it from a different standpoint. You're getting unstuck with the Two of Swords, the Eight of Cups, the Four of Swords. It's not about instant healing, instant gratification, instant and quick fixes. It's about, no, I'm doing the work. I'm being consistent, and the healing by itself is creating a new space for me to step into. And also it's about the journey, because even on that journey I'm still gaining all this knowledge and wisdom and lessons, and that is going to put me in this new position where I feel guided to move towards. It's like almost like a utopia in a way, because it doesn't exist, but it starts to exist within your mind. But even in your mind, you can fully grasp of what it's going to form to become and to be, because you're still releasing those swords that keep you from seeing that full vision. But being on the road and having much more calmer waters to travel on by itself is putting you in a position that you can actually, in the physical world, create the things you want to do. So if you do end up in any kind of, whether it's like big or smaller competition or uncomfortable feelings with other people, they're really part of like putting yourself back on that other journey. So just thank them, like, thank you, universe, which, you know, in this way showing me that this is not where it's at for me anymore. This is not what I'm going to have my big victory and my thriving. It's about moving beyond that, not needing to prove those people or prove this situation or prove that job that I am worthy of this, or it's about me believing in that, me trusting my own judgment, trusting my own leadership. And so when a job is trying to take you away from that and the resistance you feel, those emotions by itself can be triggering, but they're your compass. It's like, it feels off. I'm not about to let anybody walk over me anymore. That's an energy I'm feeling. And where you're going is really it's just getting better and better and better. Really. Here we go. Gemini card, huh? The Lovers with the Star card, and then we have the Fool. It's just getting better and better and better, okay? I can't with this energy. I had to give her a little bikini, by the way, because of the, you know, the rules. But it's significant. This is such great energy for you, Gemini. Love this. I love this. All right, let me pick up one more spiritual message for Geminis. Ooh, there you are. There you are. It says, sacred vision. Choose to forgive in order to heal. See the light in all. Remember that love has no boundaries. Remember that love has no boundaries. Also here, teacher awakens. You have something important to share. Follow the inner call. Don't let anyone stop you. Now this is really very important card that came out. It's not a surprise at all, because I said, like, that leadership with that Aries card showing up, but that Emperor, you have something important to share. Also, when it comes to like writing that book that I was channeling for some of you guys, like, that's sharing. Follow the inner call. Like I said earlier on, right? You first start to feel that is something that's coming up. There's a book within you. There's something that you need to get out in some way, shape, or form. And I said, do not let anything stop you. This is that energy I was feeling. You know, whether it's like people who are projecting their own fears on you, or people want to look at you through another lens, through an old lens, and that is the reality you allowed them to reflect back to you maybe for a long time. So it's like Choose to forgive in order to heal, coming from a place of love always. Even if this shows up, it's just somebody coming out of their own fear. We show them grace, we show them patience and kindness, but we will not allow them to do the thing that they're trying to do, which is influence you and make you afraid and make you scared and make you stagnant. That we're not gonna do. There is a boundary, right? But it's about, I understand that that is the capacity that you can look at it towards my situation, and I understand that that's something you reflect back to me, but I do not need you to be completely on board. All I need for you is to focus on you and your life and what makes you happy and makes you feel safe, and just respect my journey, that I'm doing it the way that I feel guided to do. That's it. That's all the conversation needs to be. With love and light, go after yourself. No, I'm just kidding. With love and light, take a seat. Several ones. Okay. I already know I have to do the Scorpio reading after this one, because Scorpio is already coming through. I know maybe you guys have some Scorpio in your charts. Anyways, no. It's with love and light, and a little bit of sassiness, and that's okay. But with love. With love. The sun, beautiful. It's just, I feel for some reason this red flag is really standing out for some reason. Normally the sun really draws my attention, and the child and the energy and the sunflowers, but right now the red flag, it's almost like you're having a lot of fun with looking at things from a different filter, and it's like another red flag catched, another trap that I did not fall in, and you kind of have fun with it. So there's a playful way. Like I said, there's a lot of playtime, just as much as there is harder work to be done. There's a lot of playfulness and playtime, and spontaneous energy in this new year for you guys. So embrace that. The full energy is here, so you're being supported in that as well, because it's all guiding you more towards this space where you're going to really be in alignment with that inner compass, and doing what you feel guided to do. It's very beautiful, Gemini. Wow. And showing up as yourself with the Lovers right at the end. You're only becoming more you. You're only coming more in alignment with your truth, and that can only lead to a lot of contentment and happiness, and a magnet for things that enhance those feelings for you and the people around you, eventually. All right, I'm gonna stop. I hope you guys have a safe but lovely holiday season. I know it's tough. I know there's a lot of dual energy going around that, because of so many things that are happening in the world. It's kind of hard to find that balance, but also it's important that embrace what you have, and let the gratitude just rise to the next level because of that. And take good care of yourself, enjoy yourself, have fun as well. You deserve that. And I'm gonna stop now, because otherwise it's not fair for other people. That you guys will get a really long reading. Anyways, I love you, and I'll be back in the new year. All right, bye, Gemini.